All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Athlete Artist Show. I am the artist Kyle Forge, alongside the athlete, professional hockey player Zach Boychuk. Big things happening since last week, Chucky. We covered the draft. We covered potential re-signings. Free agency has officially opened July 1st. Right before the two biggest ones that we were talking about last week, Brad Marchand and Ekblad re-signing in Florida. Bill Zito got it done somehow, some way. They're about $3 million over the cap now or more, but he brought back Marshy, Ekblad, and Bennett all back to Florida to go on another cup run. What are your thoughts on that? How do you think that went, and how do you think he pulled it off?
Yeah, I think if Bill Zito doesn't win GM of the Year this year, I think there's something wrong with that award. I don't think anybody expected that all three of those guys were going to be coming back. The way that they structured the deal was pretty crazy, especially with Marchand getting a 6-year deal and like $30 million
Crazy.
dollars in signing bonus. But yeah, great to see Florida trying to go to win another cup, getting Bennett, Marchand, and Ekblad back.
Yeah, and we talked about Ekblad having to take a pay cut last week too. He was making 7.5. He took about $1.5 million pay cut down to 6 million. So took a pretty team friendly deal as a pretty important, pretty high level defenseman. You know, he was a shutdown guy against Edmonton. He took a little bit of a pay cut to stay in Florida. I mean, Marchand, you could even say Marchand probably took, a pretty team friendly deal. If he would have went to like a Toronto or a Canadian team or somewhere, he probably could have got like 8 million maybe, even though he is getting up there in age. But 6 years at $6 million was crazy. I was not expecting 6 years in terms of term for Marchand.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they structured it so that he gets that signing bonus, and then his like regular salary is only 1 million per year. So if he gets all the signing bonus in the first 2 years, and whether he plays the last 4 years, that's probably it's going to be up to him and the team. But I could see that only being like a 2-year deal, maybe a 3-year deal, and then retire. And I heard Odog saying that he's going to be a $6 million skills coach, basically for the last 3 years of the deal.
Marchand was saying too. I saw him say he was like, "I'm gonna play until they kick me out of the league," and he's like, "And with my track record, that could be tomorrow. So I'm just gonna stick around and play as long as I can."
Yeah, could happen pretty quick. But as for Ekblad, like, yeah, he definitely could have got 8 or 9 million. Being a right-handed defenseman, had an incredible playoffs. I think lots of teams were looking for a guy like that, and especially with the free agent pool being pretty slim. And yeah, it seemed like even before July 1st, all the free agents were gone except for
Yeah,
maybe Ehlers.
yeah, it's been wild. I thought there was gonna be some. Oh, we also didn't mention. Did we mention Marner going to Vegas last week? I guess July 1st it officially happened, but all the talk, like you were saying before July 1st, like the Leafs were coming out with tampering allegations against
Yeah.
Vegas because everyone was saying, "Oh, Marner's probably gonna go to Vegas," and then they're like, "Oh, but we won't if you make some sort of deal with us and give us something." They ended up just getting Nick Waugh in a sign and trade. So Marner at 8 years, it was like 12.5 million, uh, and then a sign and trade for Nick Waugh straight to Vegas. So that deal was obviously done before July 1st, like you said, and they just kind of finalized it on the day. But yeah, everything was kind of done beforehand. So there wasn't as much excitement as we thought come July 1.
No, for sure. And a lot of teams, yeah, or a lot of guys just re-signed with their teams and ended up taking pay cuts. I think Marner probably could have got a little bit more if he would have went to free agency.
Yeah.
There was rumors that like Utah wanted him, and I think Carolina wanted him. So yeah, I was listening to Elliot Friedman talk the other day about like the deals that could have went down during the season with Rantanen and Marner and
Mm-hmm.
Carolina and Dallas, and like there was a three-way bit of a trade. So like that's honestly how like a little bit of tampering maybe could have came into play, especially with Vegas being one of those teams that was trying to be part of the deal. And then now, you could after playoffs, you could tell Marner was probably going to be out, and everybody thought he was looking for 14 or 15 million. Um, and then sure enough, right before the July 1st, the big trade happens, and he gets 12.5, which I think he probably could have got more, but um, you know, Toronto didn't want to pay that, didn't want to bring him back, and that was enough.
Yeah, and didn't Marner like void that deal or ex-nay that deal that could have gone down in the middle of the season too? Like he refused to waive his no trade or his no move.
Yeah, I think he used his no trade or no move, and uh, Elliot said that his wife was like 7 or 8 months pregnant, so that
Yeah.
also could have been part of not wanting to move around during the deadline. But yeah, I'm sure Leaf fans are not that happy about the return.
No, not at all. But like what else would they get when everyone knew he was kind of leaving? But yeah, not a great trade. They may as well have just let him go. Um yeah, it's Marner in Vegas. That's going to be an interesting playing with Eichel. I could see those two being a pretty good tandem. Obviously, Vegas will probably make the playoffs again. They're already a good regular season team. They didn't really need Marner. They need to get back to the Stanley Cup final. So I guess we'll see this next playoff season if Marner kind of shifts his game a little bit from how he played in Toronto, and if this new environment, new team kind of gives him that extra little bit of edge that he needs to play with in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Vegas has a lot of depth now. They've always been known for really good big D. Obviously, it sucks. Petrangelo, he's probably going to be out for
Yeah.
this season and possibly the rest of his career with something going on with his hip. But they're looking to pick up Rasmus Anderson. Obviously, they got Marner. Marner could play with Eichel or even Stone and Hurdle. Like the depth that they have now is going to be crazy, and they're looking like one of the teams to beat in the West.
And you mentioned Toronto not wanting to pay Marner, which is kind of shocking. But what about Boston not wanting to pay Marchand and then them spending 7.5 anyway?
Yeah, that looks pretty bad now. They definitely could have probably just kept Marchand and signed him for around 6 or 7 mil, and he probably would have been happy. But they lowballed him, and who did they bring in free agency? I feel like their pickups weren't that great either.
Tanner Janot at 5 years, 3.5. Um, Sean Corrali,
Hmm.
1.885. Michael, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Icemont, 1.45. So they didn't give one guy a big deal, but like you could have not paid Janot, not paid Curly, and probably signed Marshy. Probably
Yeah,
giving that money to Marshy.
I guess they're hoping to do a little bit of a retool, and you're gonna have to build around Pasta and their new draft pick in Haggins. But
Yeah.
I bet you Marchand just didn't even think about going to free agency and talking about Boston. That
Yeah.
relationship went pretty sour pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, they did him pretty dirty, man. And like another thing too, if Marshy went back or had even stayed in Boston, he's playing first line minutes, which means he's probably gonna be harder on his body. He's getting the toughest matchups. In Florida, he's a third line role playing type of guy. He's not getting the same matchups, so he's probably not putting his body through as much. So it could extend his career a little bit more and if you look at it in a way, depending obviously as long as he stays healthy and kind of seeing what happens with him, and plus he gets to go on a few more cup runs too. So hopefully the playing in the role that he's playing in Florida helps him continue his career and go on some more cup runs. But yeah, I think it's a better role for him in Florida, just with the team that they have built, and obviously being a contender. Boston's kind of in a weird rebuilding phase where they have a star. They had Marshy, and now they're getting some high picks like Haggins, and no one really knows what's gonna happen with them. So looking at a guy like Marshy at the back end of his career, what does he want to do? He probably wants to compete and put in um as little hurt on his body, you could say, as possible, unless he's the
Yeah,
one dishing out the hurt.
I would have loved to see him go to free agency though and go to a team like Toronto or something. I heard even the Leafs got in trouble for tampering because Paul Bissonnette was offering like 5 million to Marchand on Instagram or Twitter, and it's just like crazy. The league's just getting upset for like the littlest thing.
Yeah, I heard that. Who said, was that Elliot Friedman on Chicklets who was saying that? He was like, that's kind of what sparked this, the league getting involved as recently as they did. They were like, they heard Biz giving out secret offers on to guys like Marchand. They're like, okay, we gotta get involved here and just remind teams that there's a $1 million fine for tampering. You could lose your picks. You could void the entire deal altogether. Like this is we're gonna come crack down on someone, and if you guys keep pushing your luck, we're gonna crack down on you.
Yeah, and the league hated when like all the reporters had all the scoops for like basically July 1st, like right when 12 o'clock hit, like all the deals would just come in, like they were already all set up. So it's just like
Yeah,
can't be having that, can't be ruining free agency like that. And but yeah, overall, I would say free agency was pretty boring this year. A lot of guys just re-signing with their clubs.
yeah. There's some teams that haven't been doing much too, like Calgary. Again, as a Flames fan, not too impressed by what they've tried to do. Like they haven't really done anything. They've just re-signed a couple guys. I mean, they re-signed Morgan Frost, which is it's a good re-signing for them. He played pretty well when he came in this year, but they haven't really tried to make any trades. They haven't tried to go after any of the bigger names in free agency. Um, Brent Burns going to Colorado, did not expect that.
Yeah, he
1 year, 4 million.
continues a career. What is he, 40, 41 years old, and goes to a team that has a chance to win. So good for Burnsy.
Yeah, and I think his is structured similarly to like Taves and kind of the other vets that have been signing these contracts lately. So it's like I want to say it's a 1 year or sorry a $1 million base plus incentives. So kind of similar to Taves and these other guys, but which
Mhm.
I mean I feel like Taves kind of uh, lit that fuse. Now everyone's doing it.
Yeah, Jamie Benn got a similar deal like that too.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're over 35, why not sign something like that? Especially if you know you're probably going to play the 80 games and go on a good run.
Orlov signs in San Jose, which is a
Yeah,
pretty big signing for them. 6.5 million, 2 years.
yeah, and they bought out Vlasic last week. I don't know if
Yeah,
we covered that.
I don't think we did.
But their team is looking like it's getting better. Obviously, they got Misa on the draft, and that's going to be they're still going to be young, but
Yeah.
they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, did I mention your Canes got Ehlers while been recording? 8.5 million, 6 years.
Yeah, that was a good deal for Carolina. You could tell they were trying to. They had some of the most cap room going into free agency, so I think that's why they were in on the Marner trades, and obviously they traded for Keandre Miller, which is
Yeah,
a nice pickup, a nice good young D from the Rangers, and yeah, they used their cap space pretty good to pick up some good players. Like obviously, you lose Rantanen, he didn't want to re-sign, and you pick up Keandre Miller, you pick up Nikolai Ehlers, Stankoven re-signs, and yeah, the team's looking like it didn't get any worse losing Rantanen.
was the Keandre Miller deal? Was that a sign-in trade?
Yeah, yeah, they traded Morrow and a
Right.
couple picks, I think, to get him.
Yeah, so that could be a pretty good pickup for them too. I mean, that guy he's a dog when he's out there.
Yeah, you lose Brent Burns, but you pick up Callendra. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of a great move by them.
Curtis Lazar signed in Edmonton.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Was that
Yeah.
recent?
Yeah, I think yesterday or day before.
They
Um,
picked up Mangiapane as well.
yeah. So, which interesting signings for them. I think they must be trying to replace some of these young guys that they let go. I mean, I guess Curtis Lazar is 30 now, so he's my age. So we're not as young as we once were, but uh,
No,
good to see him. Hopefully he does well. Obviously he did really well when he played in Edmonton for the Oil Kings when he was in the WHL. Uh, Hopefully he finds his footing at Edmonton, has a good back end of the career.
yeah, goes back home. I think he'll be a really good like third or fourth line guy. So I
Yeah.
know they were looking for a center. and that might be a perfect fit for them.
Are you overpaying for your pouches? With PouchConnect, you get major discounts on your pouch purchases no matter where you live, shipped right to your door. Just hold Zincoin and unlock exclusive discounts on your favorite exotic pouches. It's simple. Stack Zincoin, save big, and enjoy the lifestyle millions are buzzing about. PouchConnect brings real-world rewards to crypto. Join the wave, grab your Zincoin, and start saving today at PouchConnect.com. Warning, nicotine is addictive. Therefore, nicotine pouches should not be purchased under the legal age of your jurisdiction. In the US, that's 21 years old. In Canada, depending on your province, is 18 or 19. If you don't know the legal age in your jurisdiction, please look it up before placing your order. What's we got here? Lots of the re-signings, like you said.
Yeah, Besser went back to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Garland.
Yeah, I didn't think Besser was going to go back. What are your thoughts on that? Because I heard a lot of rumors that they were either going to trade him or that he wanted out. He was looking for a way out.
Yeah, it seemed like for sure that he was leaving, and I don't know what happened over uh, playoffs and the end of the season, but obviously the relationship was still there, and um, I don't know if he left a little bit of money on the table to go somewhere else, but
Yeah.
staying in Vancouver, they got Demko, and then Kane. Obviously, he's going there now, so we'll see if if last year was just a tough season for them, if Quinn Hughes is healthy, if they can turn it around this year.
Did you hear the rumor about Kane in Vancouver?
Yeah, something like he got jumped or he got in a little bar fight or something.
Yeah, so I've seen a bunch. I've been trying to find like a more credible website than just like social media rumors. I've heard that he was jumped, but I've heard that also he was sticking up for a woman who was getting yelled at by her boyfriend or something. He kind of stepped in and then he got attacked. So
Yeah,
don't know what the exact full details are there. There hasn't been, like I said, there hasn't been a credible um, news website that has said anything about it. It's kind of mostly just social media, but either way, tough welcoming to Kane there. Glad he's okay. I've seen everywhere that he is okay, but yeah, tough welcome to Vancouver. Well, or welcome back, I should say.
yeah, for sure. Good thing it's Kane. He can kind of hold his own a little bit and
Yeah,
stick up for himself. But I heard the bouncers jumped in and kicked the guy out right away. So yeah, tough start for him in Vancouver.
yeah, but I mean, like, good on him sticking up for the woman at when she was getting yelled at by her boyfriend or getting in a fight. If that is the actual story, but yeah, good for him for sticking up there. But yeah, tough welcome back. I'd like to see what the other guy looked like. I'm sure Kaner got some shots in. He's not going to let a guy just get tee off on him without throwing something back. So
Yeah, 100%.
I mentioned kind of earlier Florida and their cap space. Right now they're 2.95 in the hole, so they're 2.95 over the salary cap. How do you think they're going to get below it? What do you think is going to happen with them? Obviously, they signed their big three free agents, and now they have to make the room so they can actually have these guys on the roster.
Yeah, it sounds like there might be a big trade coming, or maybe somebody's gonna have to go on the LTIR.
Yeah, because I guess there's another year to go with that before the actual the new playoff LTIR kicks in. So
You got a little bit of time to get under the cap.
they've got like Jeff Petrie's at. They probably have to get a guy more expensive than that though. Like Nozick is at 775. Gadjevich is at 775. AJ Greer's at 775. Boquist is at 1.5. Rodriguez is at 3. Lustarinen's at 3. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of depth guys that I feel like were pretty noticeable in the playoffs that I don't know.
Yeah.
Who would you get rid of if you were to have to get Florida under the cap come,
Well,
this week,
it's
if tomorrow was
another.
October?
Yeah, it's gonna be another team is obviously gonna want that player. So it's gonna be a half decent player. My thought would maybe be Rodriguez, but
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. Like you're in a tough spot, especially at some point you're gonna have to move on from I don't know. Bobrovsky's what, like getting up there. He's making 10 million, so he's got to
Yeah.
re-sign after this season. Like there's gonna be some big trades going on down in Florida, I think.
Yeah, Bob's 36 right now. 1 year left at 10 mil. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, like he's a two-time Stanley Cup winner now. The last 2 years he's played really well. There was a little stretch there where he was a little shaky, but it seems like the last couple of years he's kind of got back into his element. And
Mhm.
yeah, since he's won 2 cups, maybe 3 after next year, do you think there's no way they're going to give him another 10 million, eh?
No, if he wants to be back in Florida, he'll have to sign a team-friendly deal, and um, could be structured similar to the Marchand one. You
Yeah.
give him a full 8-year deal, and he only plays 2 years to spread out the cap hit.
Yeah, that's a good call too. So with Marshy, he gets most of that up front then?
Yeah, it's all signing bonus. So in the first 2 years, he'll get 30 million.
Jeez. And they can structure that throughout they can structure the cap so that spreads out over those 6 years.
Yeah, if you're over 35, you can decide which year, like you can push some of the cap to the following year. So
Interesting.
it's kind of weird how those rules are allowed for over 35s, but yeah, brings the cap hit down anyways.
Interesting. Yeah, so they must be already thinking about doing something like that with Bob. Like he's 36, so maybe 6 8 years like Marshy, and then have like win bonus maybe since he's a goalie, or even maybe just play bonuses like Taves and Benner.
Yeah, and he takes care of his body pretty well, so he could for sure play at least 4 more
Yeah.
years, I would say.
I googled Rodriguez and something just popped up here. Apparently the Canadians are in the mix to acquire Rodriguez. I don't know if they're in the mix or if this is just like a what if type of thing. Um, but the Canadians could be rumored to be interested in Rodriguez, which the Canadians seem to be building a pretty good group of guys down there. So that could add to some depth for a little bit of an older presence to their pretty young core.
Yeah, honestly, all the Canadian teams are looking really strong right now. Like you look at the Canadians, the Leafs, Ottawa re-signed Giroux. They made
Yeah,
playoffs this year. Winnipeg gets Taves. They were first place in the league this year. So
yeah.
if Calgary and Vancouver can take a little bit of a step, I really don't think Calgary will be making any steps, but I
No,
guess you never know with Wolf in that. But it seems like all the Canadian teams have a chance of making playoffs.
yeah. It kind of blew my mind that Vancouver wasn't as good as I thought they were gonna be. Like I thought they were gonna make the playoffs for sure. It's tough to see like Quinn Hughes back there, a player as good as Quinn Hughes playing for a team that isn't making playoffs. But yeah, Calgary, I could easily see Vancouver taking the Calgary spot that they had this year, where they just missed out by like a goal in like the last game of the season. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Vancouver make it. Wouldn't be surprised to see Calgary not make it, especially unless they did something drastic going into the regular season. But yeah, right now it's not looking too hot for Calgary. It's not much going on.
And in Vancouver, their AHL team, the Abbotsford, what is it, Canucks? They won the Calder Cup. I don't know if we covered that last week, but Seelov's won MVP. Obviously, he's a great goalie, and will probably challenge to make the Vancouver Canucks. And I'm sure some teams are looking to try and trade for that guy right now.
Yeah, because he had a great run last year for Vancouver in the playoffs, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So that's good for him getting some success down at the American League. And yeah, with Vancouver re-signing Demko, that kind of puts Shelov's as like the odd man out, unfortunately, in Vancouver. Hey, so if he wants to play the NHL, he might have to get traded.
yeah. Well, there's lots of teams looking for goalies, so
Who do you think could most use him?
Edmonton.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that could be
But
interesting.
I don't think Vancouver would want to make a deal with Edmonton, but you never know.
Yeah,
Obviously, you saw Gibson already went to Detroit.
and that was the biggest goalie name tied to Edmonton.
Yeah. I think New Jersey re-signed Jake Allen, so they got
Yep.
two pretty good goalies in Markstrom and Allen. So they could probably get rid of one of their guys. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, there's lots of teams that need goalie.
I was trying to Google who could Edmonton sign at goalie because there aren't a lot of goalies available, so it probably have to be a trade. But
Yeah,
who are they going to give up is the thing too. And do
yeah.
we? I guess the other question is: do we find out if McDavid's staying this summer, or do we find out before the deadline next year?
I think it'll be mid-season this year. Like they're gonna have to see how this. No, I think it'll be before the season even starts.
Yeah.
As long as they find a goalie. If they don't find a goalie, maybe he'll wait.
And do you think? I would assume that McDavid would be the guy that would tell the Oilers, "Hey, I'm not extending. You should probably try to trade me and get as much as you can." If he was going to leave, he's probably not going to do what like Johnny did
Tavares.
in Calgary or Tavares and just be like, "Yep, see you guys."
Yeah. Hopefully he's nice about it and gives Edmonton the heads up. But I think for this deal, he might just do like a 2 or 3 year deal and
Yeah.
try one more time at winning the cup with Draisaitl. And if it doesn't work out for the next couple of years, then that's when he can move on and go to Toronto or Florida or somewhere.
I feel like Toronto would be not the move to go to.
No, probably not. But
Probably.
if
I,
you won the cup in Toronto, that would be pretty insane.
I thought Tampa was interesting
Yeah,
when I
Tampa
heard
would be
that.
a good spot for him. Um, LA, New York, some big market team.
Imagine if it was LA and then it
LA would
was
be
like
insane.
the Oilers traded the two best players of all time both to LA
Yeah, that
throughout
would be
their careers,
crazy.
Gretz and then McDavid.
And then LA would at least have a chance to beat Edmonton in the playoffs.
Yeah. Guess McDavid still loses.
Yeah.
If McDavid does leave, it Draisaitl's got to leave too. Hey, do you think he'd be asking out right away?
Well, he's got his 8 year deal. I think that kicks in this year, right?
But if McDavid said he was leaving, do you think Draisaitl would want to stay in Edmonton? He would probably ask for a trade
Yeah, maybe.
because I wouldn't want to stay in Edmonton without McDavid. If
No.
McDavid leaves, the entire program's gonna crumble.
Yeah, it'd be tough with him leaving.
Kind of like Calgary and Kachuk to a degree. Leaves, goes to the Cup 3 years in a row, and the team just starts slowly breaking down.
Yeah. Calgary's, I mean, they're really banking on the young guys now, so all
Yeah,
those guys will get a great chance of making the team. I think Zane Parekh is going to get a good look, a good shot,
yeah,
and Zari's going to have to make a step, and um, you know, obviously Wolf is going to have to be lights out again this year if they want to be half decent, and they got rid of what Mantha, he's gone. Um, obviously they still got Kadri, but there's rumors that they're going to trade him. So
yeah.
they need some better guys. Obviously, Rasmus Anderson wants out, so it's kind of a gong show in Calgary. But they got
Does
good coaching and young guys that have some motors, and I don't know. We'll see what happens this year.
does Rasmus Anderson want out?
It seems like it because he's there's a lot of trade rumors. They were saying he was going to LA or Vegas, and then all of a sudden Anderson didn't want to go there. So I don't know. I guess maybe this year he'll play to the deadline, and they'll try and trade him at the deadline.
Yeah, I'm seeing Ottawa and LA. He refused to go to.
Ottawa too, yeah.
Yeah, which Ottawa
So
makes sense. I don't know why you wouldn't want to go to LA. I guess if he's looking at the taxes, LA is not a great place for taxes either. But they have a pretty good team that they're building up there. So I mean, LA would be a fun place to go play.
yeah, LA looks really good again. So I don't know. He only wants to go to Vegas apparently.
Really,
So he stays in Calgary unless he goes to Vegas.
everybody wants to go to Vegas. We need to get rid of Uyghur is what we need to do.
Where are you going to trade him?
Anywhere, send him to Russia for all I care.
Well, if you get rid of Uyghur and then Anderson wants out, then you got no D.
Bet on Perek. Bet
Yeah,
the house on Perek.
Parek's gonna be good. Might be a couple years, but
Now you could trade Uyghur to where would he go? Where would he want to go? Because I'm assuming he has a. Does he have a no move as well?
probably. A lot of these
Um.
guys like have random no moves that like kick in like this week, like kick on Tuesday, I think.
Oh, weird.
So yeah, it's like crazy times. Like that Jordan Kyrou in St. Louis, he a lot of teams were trying to get him, and I think his no trade might have just kicked in, but
Huh.
um yeah, I don't know what Calgary's gonna do. They got to sign somebody. Like obviously, the longer you wait, the better. Like the lower the deals become, and you're not going to be giving out, 6, 7 year deals. So you
Yeah.
can get some good guys, but there's not a lot left on the market.
No, and I mean, like Calgary needs new ownership. Like, looking at what Florida's done, the new Florida ownership and their GM, I'm like, I wish we had that. Obviously, Florida, yeah, the beach is right there. There's no state tax. It's a sick place to play hockey, but it's also like that. Just seeing what that ownership group has done, that new owner has done since 2014, when they couldn't even fill up their arena, when they were getting 6,000-7,000 people at home games in the regular season, to now. I'm like, man, we need an owner that will just let the GM do his thing.
Yeah, maybe the new rink will entice some free agents to come, but
Yeah.
yeah, you still have to build through the draft, and the owner won't really let them tank. So we'll see if they tank this year or not to try and get McKenna.
I mean, I don't really agree with tanking. It's just like I've heard that the GM doesn't let the ownership group hasn't let the GMs in Calgary make the moves that they want to make, like whether they're trading for specific guys or offering specific contracts. Like, I feel like there would have been a way to keep Kachuk, even though obviously I haven't talked to him. He didn't really want to stay, and Florida's been a sick place for him. But I feel like there could have been a better effort to keep Kachuk. Um, when in regards to Johnny Gaudreau, obviously rest in peace, Johnny. But there were rumors that Johnny wanted out 3-4 years before his contract ended. You could have traded Johnny earlier and got something for him rather than just letting him walk. Even though
Yeah,
he was like the heart of the Flames for the longest time, alongside Kachuk, in terms of offensive ability, just being the star in Calgary. But you could have traded him and got something for him. Monahan was the same way. They waited until he was riddled with injuries till they got anything for him. And then with Kachuk, at least they got something, but they got an overpaid Huberdeau, I don't even think he's had 50% of the points that he had his last year in Florida. So it's like, what are we doing here?
yeah. I remember when that deal went down, everybody was praising Calgary for making a great move, and now it just looks like a terrible move.
I think
But
everyone likes Uyghur and just hates Hubie.
yeah, seems that way for sure. But
Except me, I hate them both. I only dislike
yeah,
Uyghur because he was here for a week and he's like, yeah, you guys' arena sucks. You need a new one. Fuck you. You've been here for a week. The Saddledome is the most iconic arena in sports besides Madison Square Garden. Let's calm down.
well, it got him a new rink, so I guess it kind of worked out for him.
Yeah, I don't want a new rink. I don't want the dome to go away. Like, I'm so heartbroken about them tearing down the Saddledome. If they weren't tearing down the
Yeah,
Saddledome, I wouldn't even care. Even though
yeah,
the new rink is ugly as hell, but like, it should be the Saddledome should be a historical landmark that they cannot touch.
it's gonna be a sad day when it goes down.
Yeah, I'm already crying. I won't be able to live in Calgary at all without the Saddledome. It just won't be. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about that again. But Chucky, is there anything else you want to cover before we get out of here?
No, I
Oh,
think
you're married
obviously,
now.
yeah, got the new ring on. It's been a busy couple weeks, getting engaged, getting married, going back to Slovenia pretty soon to get our apartment ready and stuff. So
And then you're coming back and then you're going back again, aren't you?
yeah, I got a couple weddings mid to end July. So yeah, it's been a busy summer. Not a lot of staying in one spot. I'm in Fernie right now. At another wedding. So yeah, it's been busy.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, congratulations on being married now. Are
Thank you.
you guys just did a family wedding, didn't you?
Yeah,
Are
just
you guys
family members only. I think there was like 15 people, 20 people, kind of something like that out at my parents' farm. So
are you guys gonna do like a bigger one eventually for like friends and family, or are you guys just keeping it low key?
yeah, we were thinking of doing like a reception or doing, a destination something somewhere because
Cool.
her family's from New Brunswick, my family's from Alberta. So either way, somebody's gonna have to travel somewhere. So whether it's somewhere in BC or Mexico or um, you know Calgary, New Brunswick, we'll kind of figure it out.
Awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Before we head out, shout out Legion, our official supplement partner of the Athlete Artist Show. Chucky's finally got his supplements, trying them out. I think
Oh yeah,
I don't know if we were recording when you said that you were enjoying them so far, but your thoughts on the gummies and the bars and the powder.
yeah. I'm a big fan, especially the cinnamon toast, grass fed whey protein, whey isolate. So yeah, it's tastes pretty good in some shakes, and the gummies are nice too. You don't
Yeah,
need the powder. You got the creatine gummies. You can just pop a couple in the afternoon, or if you're before or after a workout, it's pretty easy. So yeah,
they're
I
handy to
like them.
travel with, eh?
Yeah, so easy. I'm gonna bring them over to Slovenia with me and
Nice.
get everything going. So
Are you gonna
that's
be able to
perfect.
bring all the supplements over?
I'll bring as many as I can this time, and then the next time I come back, I'll probably bring some more.
Sweet. See, I think we have another order that we can put in now. So we'll by the time you get back and go back again, we should have more for you to to take over. So take as
Sounds
much as you
good.
can this first trip.
We stocked for the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more of the energy drinks. Maybe try a different flavor. Orange is always my favorite, but yeah, the creatine is really good. I've been trying the pre workout a lot. That's what I've been using for the pre's for. I mean, since we got with Legion, which has been great. The cotton candy one tastes pretty good. The peach rings one tastes pretty good. As far as pre workouts go, they work as long as you don't take too much of it. So
Yeah, I want to
get you
try the
buzzing.
cotton candy. That sounds good.
I'll let you have a scoop. Start small so you're not buzzing around and it
Yeah,
gives you
maybe a half
PTSD.
scoop.
Yeah, maybe a half scoop. I mean, I think for their proportions, it's like one scoop is like a normal half scoop for a different like company. Like the what was the other brand I was using? I probably shouldn't say the brand, but different brand I was using. It was like a smaller one scoop, and they're just more like potent scoops. But I think there's less servings in them. So like the Legion servings, depending on how many scoops you have, you can if you're taking one scoop, you could have like 60 servings, which will last you a good amount of time. And then if you have the two scoops like I do, yeah, it's about 30 servings or a little bit more. But their tubs are like that big, which normal tubs are like this big. So
Yeah,
it's a pretty good price point for what you're getting out of it too.
for sure. But just don't take 3 scoops, then you're
Don't
buzzing
take
too
three.
hard.
Yeah, don't take three. You might puke. Take two. You should be fine. I've been trying the multivitamins and the nootropics and stuff too,
How's
which is,
that? Pretty good?
I think so. Yeah, I think I need to definitely need to take the multivitamins more. Um, but I've been trying to test out the nootropics, which are supposed to help with like cognitive function and memory and stuff like that. So
Get the
see,
brain going.
get the brain going, see how that goes. Awesome, dude. Any other hockey talk that you want to cover before I let you get out of here?
No, I'm looking forward to the summer now. You get a few weeks off hockey. There's not much going on, but I saw the three ice league is starting up again. I don't know if you've heard
Oh,
that, but they're on NHL Network, and they might be on. I don't know if it's TSN or they're playing 4 or 5 weeks all out of Florida's practice rink. So
no
apparently
way.
Florida has like a really nice new facility,
Yeah,
and so all the guys are going down there. There's 8 teams, and um, they're playing like 5 weeks in a row, and playing for the three ice championship.
frick, that'll be a time for those guys, hey?
Yeah, it goes to like August 15th, so I can't play in it this year, but because like our training camp starts beginning of August, but
Oh,
they were recruiting me, trying to get me to come play, and But I'll be keeping my eye on that a little bit to see how it goes. I know they get some influencers to play like Swaggy P, and I don't know if like Pavel Barber is going to go down and play, but a lot of former guys. I heard Michael Delzato might be playing, so
Oh,
I'll
really?
be keeping an eye on that little summer league to keep up with some hockey to watch, anyways.
What are those guys getting paid?
It'd be similar to like an AHL type contract
Okay.
for the 5 weeks. So I'm not sure if it's still that way. For the first year or first 2 years was more of like a good AHL salary,
Okay.
and then but this year with it only being 5 weeks and all in one location, I'm not sure. So, but either way, some hockey to watch anyway.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, dude. We need the Saudis to come back in with that 3-on-3 league, like was rumored like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be nice if that came out,
Yeah,
right as I'm about to retire. I'll just go play in a 3-on-3 Saudi league.
there you go. Make a couple billion.
Yeah.
All right, man. I will let you get back to it over there in Fernie. Enjoy the weekend. I've got Stampede over here, so we'll be going for the next week and a half down here. The city's already nuts.
Yeah. Did you get tickets or whatever for the daily? Is it can you pay for the whole time to go to the grounds?
Yeah, there's like a super pass that you can get. So if you're going into the grounds every day, like if you're going to National North, you don't have to pay the $25 every time. It's like $50 gives you all 11 days. So
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And then you
yeah.
just go to Nashville North every day and post up.
Yeah,
You
Nashville North. There's a concert on Sunday at Big Four, or next Sunday on the final Sunday. Mike, boys from
Oh
Nashville
yeah.
are coming out. So he played at Badlands last year. Got to see him there. And then his videographer John Kilmer came on my music podcast when I shot out in Nashville too. So good to see those guys back in town for the good way to end Stampede too. So that'll be a fun one.
Is that concert free? No,
Yeah,
it can't be, right?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. They're all free.
I
You
heard
could
one of them at the Big Four cost money, so I heard it was one of the Sundays. So, but
Oh,
all the
really?
other ones at the Big Four, Coke Stage is free, Nashville North is free.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be having a fun 10 days.
Yeah, you can get like for Nashville North, you can get a buck the line pass, which I think they're like $100. Um, those are good for like weekends, but like Nashville increased the size of their patio. Like it's
Oh,
massive. It's insane. Like I think they increased the capacity total by 1,000. Like the whole six
nice.
thousand people in there now. It's just fucking insane.
About time they did that for sure.
Then the new Cowboys location apparently is a disaster. Like
Really?
I've seen videos of it, and it looks pretty sick inside. Like it looks massive, but it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird location out the old Millennium Park, but
Yeah, right across downtown. So yeah, I won't be venturing out that far, but I'll stick to this end of town.
sounds good.
All right, dude. We will
All right.
see everybody next week.
Peace.